Perfect, just pop it in a little bit more and just keep a real good grip on the very end.
Okay.
I'm Yussef Rafik and I'm a zoologist and former zookeeper. I've spent years working with animals, so I know how tough but also rewarding it can be. But now I want to try some of the more unusual wildlife jobs out there and meet the dedicated people behind them to find out if I have what it takes.
We're at the start of the seal pupping season here in the UK, and for the Seal Sanctuary here in Cornwall, that means it's the busiest time of year for their rescues. And I'm going to be spending the day with their seal rehabilitation team to find out what it takes to look after these vulnerable species. Oh wow, oh my goodness, he is massive.
Yeah, Logs is our biggest
Hi, Logs.
adult male here.
You're beautiful. So what is it that we're going to be doing today? I've got my wellies on, so I'm prepared.
You're all ready? Yeah, well, you're going to get stuck in from get-go.
Brilliant.
We've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
So first of all, we need to feed our pups, give them their medication for the morning, take temperatures and clean their pens down. After that, we need to get all the fish ready for all of our resident animals and start feeding.
Amazing, I'm excited. Should we
Let's
get
get
into
going,
it?
yeah.
First up is Jalapeno. She was found severely malnourished almost 2 weeks ago and is still very small for her age.
We think that there's some sort of infection going on, so she's on different medications for it. Yes, she's had stuff coming out of both ends. Poor little girl.
I'm glad we're going in there with her.
When we go in, what we'll do is we'll take a temperature.
Okay, brilliant.
So,
is that in the mouth or the other end?
It is the other end.
Okay. I've never done that before, so that'll be a new
It's all an experience. So, because of the avian flu risk at the moment, we have to wear masks when we're around seal pups, so they can carry it and they can catch it. So, I'll grab her with a towel.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, you ready for me?
Yeah.
As Jalapeno is too unwell to feed herself, Megan has to give her a special fish soup through a tube.
She's being wriggly.
Bless her.
I know.
So start slowly plunging.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Beautiful. So that is beautiful. Let go of the tube. Well done. And now we will do a temperature check.
Okay.
So if you grab your thermometer.
This is my big moment.
This is your big moment.
Okay. So I just lift the tail.
Lift the tail. So you're aiming, so she's upside down now.
So I put it in first and then press the button?
Just down a little bit, just there.
Okay.
Yeah, pop it in and then press the button.
Ooh.
She will wriggle around a little bit. Perfect, just pop it in a little bit more and just keep a real good grip on the very end.
Okay. Wow. I've never done this before. So that was
Yeah,
ready?
that goes quite quickly, that's good. What does it say?
Okay, 37.2.
Perfect.
So are there body temperatures like ours?
Yeah, so we're looking for 36.5 to 37.5.
Okay, so she's good.
She's good, yeah.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Okay.
We can head out.
Awesome.
That is her done.
Should probably wash this.
Jalapeno isn't the only seal pup doing well today. Her neighbour Zimt has only been at the centre for 5 days since she was admitted with wounded flippers, but is already strong enough to graduate from the isolation pen into the main hospital. But first, she'll need weighing.
So it's a little bit of a grumpy one.
Okay.
Again, this is what we call a seal bag.
Yeah.
And we take it on rescues and we use it to move pups around. So again, I'll go in first and just get her in the bag.
They're very vocal, aren't they?
Very. Basically need you now. Oh, it's wiggling away.
That's quite a process.
It's a drama sometimes.
They are quite dramatic.
They really are. Right, if I get you to hold that
Yeah.
one, it's a little bit heavy on me. And we'll come through this way.
It's a very unusual experience carrying a seal in the bag.
Stay still, Seal. You're okay. I'm going to go 16.9, I reckon.
She's put on a bit of weight.
Yes, I'll put on, which is great.
That's good.
Right, where is your head, little Seal? I'll face you that way. But yeah, I'll let her out.
Okay.
Which is literally, I'm doing it.
Is she just going to sort of flop out?
She's going to flop out. If I get you to step up, because she can be a grumpy one. There we go, there's the grump.
Oh, good.
And yeah, so we'll head out.
Okay.
And that's it really for that one.
She doesn't sound very grateful.
I know, they never do.
So, one thing that you probably can hear behind me is how loud these guys are. Now, I wasn't really expecting it, to be honest. And seals are obviously quite famous for that eerie singing they do out at sea, but they do also have a broad range of other vocalizations they can do. Sometimes to say, look, this is my space, back off. Sometimes, like these seal pups are doing, it's just to communicate how they're feeling. But yeah, really, really creepy sounding. Right, so next up we've got to go and prepare all the food for the resident seals and also one of the seal pups who's doing really well, and that pup is currently in the nursery, so we're going to go check those out. But now we have to get a little bit fishy because it's time to prepare their brunch. I've never seen so many fish in my life. So what kind of age does a seal pup move from its mum's milk onto a diet of fish?
Yeah, so it's usually around the 3 to 4 week mark, and at that point mum does sort of just leave them to it.
Okay.
They're born at about 10 to 14 kilos. When they're weaned, fully weaned from mum, they're about 40 kilos.
And is that quite a dangerous time for the seal pup then, when it has to go and fend for itself?
Yeah, absolutely. So when they've sort of left mum, this is their first chance to actually explore the coastline. They've got to figure out what beaches to go to, what not to go to. If they haul out on a public beach and there's a lot of disturbance and they just want to rest, if they're then sort of scared and go back into the sea, those fat reserves that they don't have already are going to dwindle. So it's really important that these pups are sort of left alone and can actually figure this out on their own without being disturbed.
So we've got all the buckets filled with a lot of fish. What's the next step now then?
So now we're going to load it all up into our van and we'll head down and we'll feed the seals.
Our first fish stop is at the nursery pool with an older seal pup who will soon be released.
So Curry is one of our rescue pups. So this is a really important stage for them. It's the first time that they're outside with us. They're learning to eat in the water, swim around, and just have that natural environment around them.
So the aim is for him to be released back into the wild after this?
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So we want to keep him as wild as possible.
Okay, which is why we're not in there with him when we're going to be feeding him.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, a bit different to some of the other seals.
So we just throw it in?
Yeah, good luck.
I really don't want to hit the members of the public with fish. Okay,
there's a splash.
There's a splash. Pups like Curry have a lot to learn before they're ready to compete for food and keep up with the other wild seals. But not all of the pups that are nursed back to health can be released.
Oh, wow.
At 32 years old, Logs is the dominant male in this pool of long-term seal residents, and he's due a health check.
Wow, he's very solid.
Yeah.
Absolute
It's a big lump
unit.
of muscle.
How much does he weigh, do you know?
So Logs is about 250 kilos.
Okay, a lot bigger than those pups we just saw.
A lot bigger, yes. You can check his flipper.
He's in very good condition though, isn't he?
He is.
What's his backstory?
So your Logs was rescued by another facility, and then that facility closed down, and unfortunately they thought he could survive in the wild, so they released him, and he just didn't know where fish came from.
Oh, no.
So unfortunately he had to be re-rescued. So yeah, the story goes that he was actually chasing children up and down the beach, and he was after their sandcastle buckets, because to Logs, fish comes from buckets. Fish doesn't come from the sea.
No.
So he just didn't know how to survive.
He swallowed it quite quickly.
Yeah.
Is that gone already? Wow. So we're in a different enclosure now. So who have we got in here?
So this here is Ray. Ray is one of our most popular seals, to be honest, with people. So Ray was rescued as a pup from down here in Cornwall.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we think he'd had a little bit of a bash to the head. We're not sure if in a storm he'd sort of been hit up against some rocks or something hard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that has caused a bit of brain damage. So it also detached both his retinas from his eyes, so he's completely blind. He's got brain damage, and that injury as well caused damage to his jaw.
Okay.
So it means his mouth is slightly open all the time. But to be honest, it just means he has a permanent smile. And he is the most happy-go-lucky seal that you'll find.
He's beautiful.
He's very chilled out.
Yeah.
He doesn't have disagreements with the other seals. We couldn't put him in with another male because he just wouldn't stick up for himself.
Okay.
So that's why he's actually in a pool with 2 females.
Oh, okay.
So Sheba is his girlfriend.
Is she? Oh. And the other one's just third wheeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ray's story is pretty much the reason why we do what we do here at the sanctuary. He had a really hard start in life, and we were able to help him, heal him, and then give him a forever home.
Yeah, because I guess without you guys, he sadly wouldn't be here anymore, would he? So
Yeah, exactly.
it goes to show how important the work you do here is.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at that face.
That little smile.
So my time here at the Seal Sanctuary has come to an end, sadly. I really feel like I've bonded with some of the seals. You know, there was Yule Logs and Ray, especially Ray. He totally stole my heart.
I'm so glad there's a safe haven for all these seals, especially animals like Ray, who wouldn't survive anywhere else. The success stories that come out of this place are a real testament to all the hard work that goes into being a seal rescuer.
It's been brilliant.